everybody, and welcome back to Movie in a Haunt, where we answer the question, is that thing that's watching you while you sleep actually a demon? Stay tuned to find out. I'm RJ.
And I'm Paige.
And guess what?
What?
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
So I got to choose the movie.
Yeah, clearly.
In the on-brandness of us, you would think, oh, this is it. After how many tries, they're finally doing Cocaine Bear. Psych, no, we're not.
Like I said last episode, whatever episode we say we're going to do next, it's a lie. I promise. We won't, probably.
Listen, we can put... This is great, though, because if we say Cocaine Bear after this, literally, we could put Dracula, Scream, or this movie out, or the Killer Klowns episode out, and guess what?
We were right.
We're still correct at the end. On brand. We're watching Killer Klowns from Outer Space. This is me. This is all me.
This is, if you wanted to know RJ as intimately as possible, this is his thing. This is his bread and butter.
I need redemption, because last year was vacancy for me.
Not by choice.
Not by choice, but it technically my movie was Vacancy. And I would like to thank the listeners, because somehow on Spotify it is like in our top 5 episodes.
I don't
know why, because it's a genuinely not a good episode. It's really bad. You can tell we're really bored.
And
however, this movie is different.
Different is a word that it is. I have like 3 fears I've definitely talked about. Creepy children, dolls, and my number one, my numero uno, is clowns.
What about a human that's turned into a doll?
I hate it. I hate all of it.
Oh, then this movie has 2 of you.
Fantastic. I know this movie isn't scary. I just really hate how their masks look. Like, I don't like it. They are distorted faces. I hate it. I hate all of it.
I will say this movie, this is one of those rare occurrences where actually I have definitely seen this, not you. This movie I can describe as the individual aspects are better than the sum of its parts.
Okay.
Like the score for this movie, fantastic. But it's in a way of like, it so fits the movie. Like, it fits Killer Klowns.
Got it.
You can't put this in another movie. It just won't work. But it is very recognizable. The practical effects, gorgeous. I think this movie is like a great... Like, we're back in the 80s, of course, so practical effects are going to be a thing. But this is probably going to be contender for best practical effects, of course, like movies we've watched. Because it's so creative in what they do with, like, this little budget they had.
I mean, what I saw from the trailer, I was impressed with that.
And also, this movie... The main thing... This movie is, like, it's set pieces. The plot exists to get you to the next set piece.
Got it. Okay.
Hence, the story and acting are the 2 things that are sacrificed to give you incredible, just practical effects, a great score, some very memorable set pieces. The best way I can describe it is like, do you know like there was like certain episodes like of X-Files where you could definitely tell the story was not the focus that week. It was just kind of this cool concept that they had.
Absolutely.
This would be the movie that defines like it's a cool concept, so just come for the ride.
Got it. So we're gonna watch that. Not much to say about the trailer. It just gets you amped for the movie. Shows you bits and pieces of everything.
It shows you too much. As someone who's seen it,
yeah.
It shows you way too many set pieces.
I'm not surprised. It is the 80s. They do that a lot. I mean, even now they do that a lot,
I think the one thing I found confusing was the whole, like, they're killer clowns from outer space. Like, he was so wacky. It's
Yeah.
so weird to hear that in a horror movie.
Yeah, one way to describe the trailer is it's wacky for sure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go do that, and we'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we are back. It most definitely has not been 2 weeks since we watched the movie because we totally, had technical issues.
That seems to be
and we totally remembered that everything that just happened.
Oh, yeah. I definitely remembered this movie like the back of my hand because we just watched it.
5 minutes ago. It's totally not my actual birthday now. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to play a game. And it's going to be called Ryan Explains the Movie. And Paige recalls it and goes, "Oh yeah." I hated it.
That's going to be the whole thing. Oh god.
I would have rather that been repressed. Thanks. But let's start with a quick little fun fact, because I did a little research, because I was like, this movie was made for $1.8 million. Like, it was in the $1 million range, which for the set design and the prosthetics, even back then, great. But I was like, let me see how much that would be in today's terms. It would have been made for $3.8 million today. In today's terms, this movie box office would have made $110 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It made 43 back in 88.
How? What?
Because when you have a synopsis, that is you can literally describe this movie. If someone went, "Sell me the movie, sell me the plot," I'm like, the plot is the name. Killer Klowns from outer space. That's the plot.
You know when they say don't judge a book by its cover? This is one of those times where you do.
It's the exception.
Yeah.
I think the biggest shock is it never got a sequel, and it made that much money.
Is there a reason that you saw?
Originally, there was going to be one, and the last time I heard about it was 2018. They were going to make one, but then Disney bought Fox, and Disney was like, "We are not doing Killer Klowns."
Yeah.
And they were like, "It's canceled."
It's not very mouse friendly.
But this movie is a guilty pleasure of mine. I can say this movie has no plot. This movie has great set pieces, great practical effects. When you have all that greatness, something has to be sacrificed, and it's the plot and the actors portraying your plot for you. All I remember about this movie was the Killer Klowns, because I can't remember the characters for the life of me.
Nope. I can't.
Ew. The main characters... Okay, so we never knew what the last name was, but his name is Mike Tobacco.
I feel like it's one of those movies exactly that they don't care about the plot and the characters. They're just like, okay, let's just make really cool looking things. They're like, oh shit, we need to name these characters. Dartboard. Okay. There we go.
Mike Tobacco, Debbie Stone, Gene Green, Dave Hansen, Curtis Mooney. Okay, Curtis Mooney actually sounds like a normal name compared to the rest of these. We'll get to them when we get there. But the one thing I remember about this movie was how it was like a family affair. It was like produced by this family, written by this other family member, directed by this other family member.
The only other thing I can remember, think of immediately when that's a case in horror would be the Raimi brothers. So it can be good if you're working with the family in evidence with the Raimi brothers. This, for me, not so much.
Also, I think it's different because they do music together. But John Carpenter and I think his son do music.
Yeah.
Icons, iconic music. But let's talk about the movie. We start. We get a nice intro. And I love how we just get a montage real quick of being like, these are all the places we're going to visit in the next, like, 88 minutes. Mm-hmm. Do you know this, like, weird sidewalk? We're going to come back here. Do you know this White Castle ripoff? We'll be back here a few times. Do you see this shitty, angry cop who's like, I'm a cop. I can do whatever I want. We'll see him a lot. But first, let's go on Fuck Hill, where everybody's fucking. And our main characters are starting to fuck in a raft.
That's the beginning of the movie, guys. This is what we're getting into.
Oh, then there's an ice cream truck.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like...
Oh, God.
But the two guys who most definitely fucked the clowns at the end of the movie.
Yes, or in the ice cream truck.
And they're up there and they're doing the thing. Everyone's like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking losers. And then this is where they have the two
ladies
women with them eating ice cream.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not that easy. And I'm like, ugh, gross. And then we cut to Daryl or Merle or Hershey.
Who?
It's the farmer dude.
Oh, with the dog?
With his dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're going to be rich.
Oh, yeah.
It's Haley's Comet.
Yeah, the comet fell.
And then he's like, what? The circus is in town. And I'm like, okay. I was watching your face to be like, okay, Paige, hear me out. It gets funnier.
You were already losing me, and we weren't even 5 minutes in. I was like, what the fuck?
This is the hard part. This is the hard part. Trust me, it gets better. We're going to kill the dog real quick. We're going to kill the old man real quick. And then we'll be back. And that's what happens. We kill them. I do think there's... The one funny one is the dog gets captured in the net.
Yeah.
And then... I forgot what happens to what's his name. Does he get ray gunned?
The old man? Yes. Yeah. Yes, he gets ray gunned. Okay.
So he gets cotton candied. Mm-hmm. Which I will say, the cotton candy cocoon is a cool idea.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it makes sense. You're in the circus, and it's sticky and gooey, and it makes sense it would make a cocoon type of thing. It was a good idea.
And the I know you hate them for what they become, but the popcorn gun.
Yes, I agree. I think that was a pretty cool idea because when we'll get to it when we get into the circus tent. They go into the room with all the cotton candy, and then there's like a little area where they have the popcorn popping. I was like, oh, that's cool. I wonder how that fits in.
I liked especially when we get to the ship, how quote unquote practical everything was. Like, not only were they practical effects, but they were practical things of what they like of clowns.
Yes.
Like what they would be using, like the levers is where I was looking at it, like the control board and how they were all like these plastic toys in a sense.
I think my favorite was the balloon dog.
Oh my God.
That was my favorite.
I was like, I'm laughing because I'm like, they had to tell this dude in the clown costume, pretend this dog is riding your ass right now. Either way, Mike and Debbie are like, Debbie's like, come on, I want to go see the shooting star. It should be right over there. And Mike's like, but I want to fuck you. She's like, star first. They get there, and then the thing's like, they reverse, because then Debbie's like, we should go. And Mike's like, no, it's fun. It's clowns. It's the circus. This is us in a nutshell, by the way. You'd be like, no, please don't. I'm like, it's okay. What's the worst that can happen?
It's
like,
just
seriously,
clowns.
And clowns are nice. They're funny.
No. Never.
They go in. It's they're in a hallway for a while. And then they get to like the big part of the ship where it has all the hanging cocoons. It has, it's kind of like the main center. It's where they kind of load up with their weapons, because they usually grab their weapons from there as well.
Can I say I hated the elevators? They were so cheap looking. The other stuff I can get away with, but when the door closes for the elevator every time, I'm like, oh God, this looks horrible.
Oh, you mean the one that it's kind of like, what's funny? I didn't picture them as elevators. I just thought they were doors that go whoop.
Oh, and then you come out the other side?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I was thinking them as elevators. Oh, I wonder who's right.
I thought it was like the magician's door.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they get caught after they find Mr. Gene Green in a cocoon, which seeing just a face in the cocoon is terrifying. They get caught. Mike, is it Mike or Debbie? No, Debbie gets shot with the popcorn. Because she takes the shower later, so it has to be Debbie.
Oh, yes, because it's on her clothes.
And then you see all the other clowns. And the best way I could describe these clowns they are terrifying, but their makeup and their prosthetics are so good at the same time.
I agree. Okay, as coming from someone who's one of my number one fears is clowns, I really liked the makeup. It was hard to look at because it was scary, but I really, really liked the makeup. The prosthetics were good. Costumes were really good, but so it worked on me, but I would never.
The one time while we were watching the movie, I realized it later on, but I'll bring it up now, where I went, okay, they put so much detail in these prosthetics, was if you look at the back of their heads, they had the hair trails exactly cover up where the zippers and seams would be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's effort. That the fact that you knew exactly where these were going to line up, so you could be like, okay, this is how the hair goes with all of them.
Yeah, it just goes to show that despite the movie being kind of subpar, everyone around it was putting their all into it, especially the costume designers, for sure.
I just want to say, I love the score for this movie. And I think it's because the score fits the movie so well. Like, you can't mistake that score for any other score.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Either way, they get chased, and then I think it's Shorty, maybe, is the one that does it, but they make a dog. They make the balloon dog.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
the best
on a wire, and it's just like, just have someone on the other end of it, just like twirling it around. And then the person playing Shorty has to act like he's getting dragged across the... Either way, they get ran over with the car, one of them. And then he sits up, and you're like, ew.
Straight up, ew.
Gross. Ew. And then they go Crescent Cove, and I'm like, bitch, we knew we've been in Crescent Cove. Why are we giving like a shot
in case you forgot?
All right. Oh, God. I forgot about the B plot. Ew.
What's
the love triangle B plot?
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
They go to the police station.
What's the guy's name? What's
Dave Hansen.
Dave Hansen.
Dave Hansen.
If it's a cop.
And Debbie's like, hey, Dave. And he's like, hey, Debbie. And Mike is like, I'm here. In the back of a police car. Either way, they're just like, I don't believe you. Killer clowns from outer space. Don't be so ridiculous.
The old farmer man is dead inside a cocoon. Please, Debbie, you're a crazy woman with your crazy woman thoughts.
And then Mooney comes in, and Mooney's like, oh, you're trying to get one up on me just because I'm getting old and I'm going to retire soon. And yeah, you all hate me. You all have a conspiracy against me. You're all trying to attack me. And I'm like, Mooney, shut the fuck up. You're going to get turned into a ventriloquist dummy in like 40 minutes.
He was so overacting compared to everyone else around him. I was like, buddy, tone it down. This isn't the film to try to get your Oscar.
And then Mike and Dave are like, we're going to go to Lover's Lane. Or as I call it, Fuck Hill. And they're like, Debbie, you're going to sit in this house and everybody's going to forget about you for 30 minutes.
Like, Debbie, we want to protect you. Relax. Go take a shower. We don't need you on the front lines.
You know it's bad because, like, most movies are good about, they take a character out and then later on in the movie they'll reference something that makes you remember, like, oh, right, this other character existed. And then right as you question, like, oh, yeah, where did they go? They show up, like, 20 seconds later. And you're like, how did they do that? It's like, because they wrote it to make sure this was the moment you remembered. This movie, they cut back to Debbie, and I was like, oh, right, you're in it. I forgot about you. They totally cut her out of the movie the minute she's gone.
They only brought her back for her shower scene, and then we would cut back to the story, then cut back to her shower, then come back to the story. I'm like, okay, so she's been taking this shower for at least 50 minutes.
I was like, okay, either there's a lot of shit happening, like, really quickly, or this chick is, like, in a 2-hour shower, man. She's like, I gotta wash the popcorn grease off of me. It's all nasty. Either way, Dave and Mike go to Lover's Lane, and they see all the abandoned cars, and all the killer clowns have gotten all the people, and there's Cocoon, Cotton Candy, ooh. And then Dave is like, oh, glasses. What does this mean? And he was like, dude, they're dead. And as this is going on, we get, like, different cuts, like little montages of the clowns killing people. So I'll go with the one that's the least creepy to the most creepy, because we know which one's the most creepy. So the least creepy, because I remember you laughed, was the puppet show.
Oh, yes.
The puppet show's a really funny little scene. It's really quick.
I think that might be the first one that we see.
That's the second one, because the first one's the creepy one.
Oh.
Well, false. The first one we see has like a 15-minute payoff.
Okay.
And it's the drugstore one.
Oh, yeah.
So we have... That's not Shorty, because Shorty's the one that punches the guy's heads off. I just remember that because he's
on the tricycle.
That's how you know. Yeah, he's the short one. It's Shorty. I was almost him for Halloween a couple years back.
I can see that.
However, he plays like as he's just like a gorilla mannequin.
I think so.
Like an animatronic. And then he plays as it, and the girls are like, he's so quirky. And like, if this was 2023, the girls would be like, photos.
Yeah, selfie.
He's so weird, isn't he? So then we cut away. The clown goes in, we cut away, and then we go to the creepy one, which is the children with their mother at the burger place.
Oh, yeah.
This one was actually scary.
Yeah, that one was.
So the mom's like, you're not allowed to leave this table until you're done eating this burger. And I'm like, oh, God, I feel you, kid. I've lived this life. And she looks out the window, and she sees this clown.
Just staring.
And he's like, hello. And like, come to me. And I'm like, girl, don't go near him. He's the ugly one. And then I think it's so scary because, A, the static face that it has, and B, it's just luring the child to the door, to open the door.
It's the whole action of it. Obviously, it makes me think of It.
Yes.
Immediately. I mean, I know it came out before the film of It. But yeah, it was very, very creepy. And then she goes outside, right?
She starts to open the door, and the mom's like, you're not done eating, missy.
But you know what's hilarious is that she was like 3 feet away from that fucking clown, and her mom paid no mind to it.
I know.
I was like, oh, come on.
I would have been like, I would have went at least to the person at the counter and be like, what the fuck is that thing out there? Is that your mascot? That's not Ronald.
I was just going to say that.
That looks like more like Ronald and Grimace had a fucking abomination. Also, while this is happening, one of the clowns is just fucking that drugstore up. He like cocoons the girls. He's like looking at everything. I think Shorty's with him here when they play with like the powder and the candles. And then the dude, the main guy who is like the main clerk, is like calling the cops, and he's just like, there's clowns.
And the whole time that they're messing up his shop, there's a bunch of ADR for this old man. He's like, what? No, stop, please. It was so funny.
My phone just had a notification, so you're going to hear my phone in the audio. Whoop, whoop. But there was one other one I remember that I really liked. It's the pizza scene with the pizza delivery.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Mainly because they have one from Come Out of the Pizza Box.
Yeah, it's cute. Cute in a killer sense. That's weird.
In a killer clown type of
there
way.
You
go. Anyway, Mike and Dave witness the final thing that they're fucking with, and it's the shadow puppet show, where he does the thing with the hands and he eats all the people.
Yeah, I love that. That was so cool.
That was a really cool one. And Mike's like, run it over! Kill it! And Dave's like, you're gonna crash my car, dude!
And he does anyways.
Yep, because the clown can super jump. And then Dave was like, I can arrest your ass, you know that, right? Try me, bitch. You're fucking my ex. I will arrest you.
Exactly. Give me one reason.
You can tell the entire time they're together, Dave's just like, why the fuck did you leave me for this douche? I'm a cop. I'm respectable. I am the law. While. Oh, no, this is where we just leave them. And then Debbie's like, oh, I guess I gotta take my shirt off. And time for my shower. But also, they're not paying me enough to get naked. So, leave it to the imagination. But do remember the popcorn that's in there.
Yes.
And I like that they show her throwing her clothes away. And then right as that happens, one of the clowns puts the popcorn in the dumpster and it eats the guy taking out the garbage.
Yeah, and then we're like, oh no.
So, while this is happening now, we cut back to Mooney, and Mooney's getting his calls, and he's like, I'm not answering any of you because you're all trying to get one up on me. This city has a conspiracy against me.
Yeah, his phone's ringing off the hook because the whole town is getting attacked by clowns. He's like, no, I don't believe any of you.
You're lying. We have a clown come in. And it's my least favorite clown, too. It's the big one.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be the big, stupid one, I think. I think that was what they were going for.
Either way, Mooney's like, I'm going to arrest you. And then he tries to arrest him. And you have a little bit of a clown bit where he puts him in the handcuffs, but he takes his hands off.
That was good.
And then he does the streamer, where he pulls Mooney in with the streamer. Mm-hmm. And he kills Mooney by just banging his head against the
prison.
He just bangs his head on the
prison
bar
bars,
and
right?
just kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It was brutal.
It was. But it's not as brutal what happens next. Dave comes back to the police office. And you see the clown and you see Mooney with the ventriloquist dummy drawn with blood on his face. Like all the features, and the clown is literally talking through Mooney to Dave.
This was good. I liked this a lot.
This was very uncomfortable. It was probably the scariest scene in the movie.
If you're not scared, it's extremely uncomfortable for sure.
Yeah. I do think the best part was where he takes the hand out of Mooney, because then you realize the hand was genuinely in him.
Yeah, it was gross.
And then, do you remember what the weakness to these clowns are, Paige?
No. Yo, shoot him in the nose.
He shoots. Correct.
I remember.
He shoots him in the nose and he dies. Right as this is happening, Debbie has now decided, I'm going to finish my shower.
My 15-minute shower.
I think enough plots happened. And then, so you remember the moment where I'm like, as at the beginning, there's going to be a moment where you're like, I wish we didn't do this because I was going to remind you, and you're going to be like, great, I hate it. This is the scene you hated.
I did hate this.
They come, she opens up the thing, and the popcorn turned into basically like these alien little clown things. And they have like just little heads, all have like mohawks. They're all fucking creepy.
With the teeth.
And yep. And you're watching it, you're just like, I hate it. I hate it. I don't like this. I hate this.
I hated it so much.
And then another one appears from behind. You're like, oh God, there's more. No.
It was cool. I'll admit it was really cool, but I fucking hated it.
And then you had one of the clowns act as Mike at the front door. She's like, oh, Mike, you come to save me from my 300 square foot apartment. Thank you. And then it's the clowns, and she's like, ah. And then she's like, I'm going to jump out the window. And the clowns are like, trampoline?
She's like, oh,
She's
no.
like, no. And then like, fine. We tried to do you a trampoline. You chose not to. So we're going to do a balloon. Get inside. And they balloon her.
This was so weird. It was definitely like a hamster in a rolling ball type of situation. I couldn't imagine myself in this situation that Debbie is in. I would want to blow my brains out.
I don't think you have to imagine it because you would have already passed out the minute you opened the door.
It's so true. 1, claustrophobic. 2, spinning. Just spinning. No. My worst
the best
nightmare.
part is when they chase her, because eventually they get the ice cream truck. Mike goes with the 2 guys who like want to get laid really bad. That's their character, by the way. They just want to have sex.
Yeah, that's all they're about.
And they get to the house. Oh, that's how he gets them to the house. She's like, yeah, she has 2 really hot banging roommates.
Oh yeah, we have to remember that for later.
Yeah, and they love ice cream then.
They're like, okay.
Okay. But they start the chase scene, but they put her ball on the car. Like they tie her to the car. So this chick is just
You know when you go to like the Ren Fest or like those things and they put you in the big inflatable balloon and then you knock into each other or something? I could never. Absolutely not.
We then get a car chase. It's so silly. It's so cartoon.
It is. It really is.
It's basically like 2 minutes, and then eventually they're like, "Oh God, the cops are behind us! Stop!" And then then Dave crashes into them.
Yeah, they wreck the car.
And then yada yada yada. We're at a carnival.
Yeah, we get back there. Oh, the janitor dies from the melting ice cream. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, he gets pie.
Yeah, that was really. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't ice cream. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. We do get the clown trick of them all leaving the one car.
Yeah, of course.
And then we so they get to the fun house, and we officially ran out of budget.
We spent it all on the pies.
So here's the thing. We had like $2,000 left. And we were like, okay, what if we could do a fun house? Or we can get like these plastic cutouts that Party City's currently throwing out, stick them around, and have like a little kiddie pool with some balls. And they can act like they're falling into it. And we could do pie.
And with the pies, they went all out. Those weren't just like the containers filled with shaving cream. You could see, yes, those were 100% real pies.
And then they get there, and you get to the house. They walk inside. I'm like, oh, budget. Oh, God.
It's gone.
County festival. It's just cutouts.
It was bad.
It's just cutouts. And then one little thing of the what's his name? Oh, wait, do they? Because they have to get back. They get back to the ship somehow.
Isn't this the ship?
Oh, right. The ship is at the carnival.
Yeah.
That was like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, either way, they go to save Debbie. And we get a creepy scene of one of the clowns coming in and drinking the cocoon.
Oh, yeah. He just sticks a straw. Just whoop, glug, glug, glug. The fat one.
With a very
It was the fat one.
Funny. Yes. With a very quirky straw.
Yes. That was actually... I thought the straw was really cool.
Do you remember how they helped Debbie get out?
No.
Dave is like, I got a gun. Let me shoot it. And Mike is like, you're going to shoot her, dude. And she's like, we don't have a choice. Just, Debbie, stand back. And I'm like, she's in a ball.
She can't go anywhere, you douche.
And he shoots it. And it's like, I guess it's like the vibration of the bullet just like causes it to pop. And Debbie's like, it was crazy in there.
And I'm like, girl, I believe you.
And so they all start escaping. We get the chase scene, and then we get one last. They were like, hey guys, I just found out today we actually have $200, not $20. And they were like, fantastic.
We missed
a bunch of doors.
We missed the 0. Oops. Oh my god.
So how about we do this thing then? That means we can do the gag where they all open the doors, but they keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it goes on for way too long.
Way too long. And then Debbie's like, look, an exit. And it's like a doggy door. I'm like, girl.
they all get out. And then they end up in a kiddie pool full. Well, false. They're all staying together, and they're like, I'm not going to get lost. And then the two
dudes,
ice cream men fall down a hole into a kiddie pool of balls. And then there's two clowns dressed as chicks, and they're like, well, if we don't tell anybody, they'll never know. Let's fuck these clowns.
They were like, oh, here's the gag. It comes back. They're like, are you Debbie's roommates?
Oh, yeah.
God.
They fucked the clowns.
They fucked.
What they do is they fuck the clowns, and then they get into their truck, and then they crash in later in the movie.
Yes. Saving them.
Yes. They get chased. We see, like, tons of clowns now. It's just a true gaggle of clowns.
Yes. A murder.
The truest of the gaggles.
A murder of clowns.
A murder of clowns. And then they come in with the ice cream truck. And he's like, I'm the great ice cream clown. You have to listen to me. And all the clowns are like, all right. But also, we're going to back off because you are going to fight a gargantuan clown puppet, Jojo the Clownzilla.
Is that its name?
Jojo the Clownzilla
For real?
is its name. Yes.
Is the movie over yet?
We got like 5 more minutes. This third act.
Oof.
They were running. They're running fast. Jojo, the Clownzilla, and I know if this was like 2023, there would be some sort of JoJo Bizarre Adventure joke in there somewhere.
Easily.
Either way, it's like, I'm the alpha clown. I'm going to fuck this truck up. And it comes and just destroys the truck. And it blows it up while the two guys are still inside the truck.
Yeah.
And then Dave is like, Mike, Debbie, get out. I will be the bait. And therefore the hero. And Mike and Debbie's like, no, we couldn't. Bye.
Yeah. They're like, are you sure? Okay. Bye.
I mean, you didn't have to, but I'm not going to fight.
Yeah.
And then somehow the ship explodes. Oh, he uses his badge to pierce the nose.
Oh, yeah.
It's so blink and you miss it.
Yeah, it is.
And then a clown car, and they're like, oh no, our hero, Dave. And then a clown car crashes
Just out of nowhere.
set.
Very, very Looney Tunes.
Very Looney Tunes. And then all the characters you thought were dead are not. And they're all alive in this car.
No injuries whatsoever from falling out of the sky in a tin can of a car.
And they were like, so they went to like the ice cream guys and like, how did you live? Like, we hid in the ice cream cooler. Duh.
As everyone does.
And they're like, oh, finally, it's all over. And then they all get pied, and that ends the movie.
Again, I get it, because how do you end a movie that has no plot? Pie gag.
Pie gag. I will say, with this movie, oh, wow. Fun fact. The popcorn gun cost $7,000 to make.
Okay, so that's where the budget went. For all of Act 3, it went into the popcorn gun.
And it actually did propel the popcorn.
Oh, that's
like, they
cool.
made it so that it actually shot popcorn.
Okay, that's really cool.
So, with this movie, it's a cult classic. It's the king of the cults, I'd say, of 80s cult horror movies. This is probably the king of it. To the point where I would say if it's come back for Halloween Horror Nights like 3 times.
Wow.
It had 1 year where it was one of the main houses like that they would put the marketing around.
Wow.
So I feel safe in saying this is that type of movie that it's like that line between cult, the very top of cult, the very bottom of popular. Where if it has like 1% of a fan base growth, it's just popular. It's the low end of popular.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a game coming out this year or next year.
Yeah.
So, for a movie about killer clowns from outer space,
it's very successful.
It did well for itself.
But
you know what's going to happen, Paige?
What?
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
So it's time for Haunt.
Okay. Go ahead. Wait.
All right.
Wait. Don't we do our movie roundup before a Haunt? It's been so long.
Oh my God, I think you're right.
You know what? Do the Haunt first, and then we'll end it with the movie roundup.
Well, you have to remember, this is a different time, Paige. Because for all you who want a little movie and a haunt history lesson, Movie to Haunt was created because I had designed a maze for Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not, we're not making a new one. We are just going over one of the originals. We will do that when we be right back because I have to send Paige the file.
All right.
Bye. Okay, it's time for the first time in forever for a movie and a haunt. We're finally fulfilling the other 50% of our name.
Oh my God, what a shocker.
We're putting in maximum effort. So, this one's a little bit different. This house already existed. This house already has a full-on paper design, and it has an Unreal Engine render where it was blocked out. But I can tell by the video I sent you, it's an early one because one of the walls is missing. And I'm like, oh, I remember exactly what day of development this was for me.
Oh, nice.
So what we're going to do is we're going to watch it on our end.
And you guys are too.
Yes. All right. Editor RJ, get ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Let's go. All right, we're starting. Basically, it's just which
standard
sucks.
start area.
Yeah, I think the one that sucks is the latest version. I have completed some of the modeling. So this was an outside tent area where the yellow and the green would glow different emissives. And I actually had animated doors that opened up and closed as you entered them.
Cool.
This would have been the tent hallway. Again, it still used the same kind of emissive. It just kind of setting the tone, would have had some nice little Mew Mew. And when we go into the next room, hi there, wall. I mean, invisible wall. We are basically doing all the city in one go. So the back area would have been the shadow puppet. We would have had the knock your block off scene ending up at the thing that we just passed on our left. We would have had the dead body on the right where a dumpster would have ended up being. If we turned left, we would have had a jump scare by one of the clowns right here.
In that cutout.
Straight ahead of us, there is the convenience store, and there would have been like some video playing what was going on in the convenience store. And to our left would have been a jump scare of the clowns doing the puppet show.
Right.
That would have been it. Hi there, Seam. Love you. I know that was fixing the final one. Right here in the transition room, it would have been kind of some audio that would have led you to the police office. And in the police office, this would have been after everything had happened. So there would have been the footprints on the wall. Everything would have been cotton candy-fied. The lights would have been dimmer than, like a normal police, how it was initially, but it was pretty dim when you got to that police office in the beginning. This next area was just because it was an iconic scene. You would have been in the hallway of the police office. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't pan to the right, but that would have been the office, the Mooney's office saying, like, we just want to kill you. I don't remember what that left was going to be, though. I'm going to be honest. And maybe it was another clown jump scare.
Okay.
That could have been it. Once we turn right into the next room, this would have been like a news type of audio saying there's killer clowns like ransacking the town. And you would have heard like people crying and been like, oh my God, they're all clowny. Up next, we would have been in Debbie's small ass apartment. This is life size, by the way. The door would have opened. We would have been shot at. Also, there's Debbie floating. Say hi to Debbie. This next room would have been epilepsy warning.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Because this would have been basically like a light tunnel room.
Oh, okay.
Of going back to the tunnel. Of going back to the clown ship.
Okay.
And Paige knows this area because it's her favorite area.
I recognize it so well. It's the door elevators.
I don't think this one has the door opening up yet. That happened in a later render, so you just go through it for now. Either way, we leave there. We go through just a little transition room, and we end up, and I didn't end up modeling the cotton candy stuff yet, but we end up in the cotton candy room.
Oh, very cool.
And here you would have seen cotton candy. I remember very distinctly that one of them was going to fall on your cart.
Nice.
And you would have saw the dead face.
Nice.
Or like the gelatized face. You would have had a jump scare from a clown when you came back around. And, to make it more accurate, he probably just would have fell on his ass. Let's be honest here. And then the final room, which is Paige's favorite room, because she's like, it's iconic. This giant ass room, as you can tell, the ceiling's very high. It would have been because a giant JoJo, the Clownzilla, would have been floating on top of you, like coming at you, like the T-Rex at Jurassic
Universal.
Park's ride.
Nice.
Yep. And then you would have left, and as you were leaving in a movie and a haunt special, you would have gotten pied on the way out.
Oh, fantastic! Because we're in the budget with that.
We have the budget for pie. But that was it. And then that was what ended up being kind of the concept for what Movie and a Haunt ended up becoming.
Yeah. I forgot that this movie basically kind of launched our whole shtick.
Well, it was that, and also Gotta Watch 'Em All was already taken, so we couldn't do a Pokemon podcast. So. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to have her do a horror movie podcast, I need to make sure I have a name ready, because she's going to be like, no name, we're not doing it.
It's true.
I'm not watching really an hour and a half movie every 2 fucking weeks.
But that was really, really cool. You did very well. Obviously everything's very recognizable. You're not confused as to what is what. Yeah.
That's the funnest fact. That was I know when that render was taken, that was the first day I worked on it.
Oh, wow.
That was like the end of the first day.
Yeah.
So, and this was back when I worked really late at night. Now I have a job where I can't do that anymore. I have to work like a normal human being. But I used to work from like 1 a.m. to like 6 a.m.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I would put on like some video in the background. It was usually like some form of like documentary of something. Mm-hmm. And I would just design and do stuff. But and now look at us.
Look at us now. But let us know if you guys like that. We did a like visual haunt for once. Yeah.
That's the hardest thing is making the visuals.
Yeah. But let's pause here and go into the movie roundup.
Time to round it up.
Woohoo. Okay, so this is the movie roundup. I don't remember shit, but that's okay. It's all about the vibes, right? That's usually what we do. I hate clowns. I still hate clowns. I will never like clowns in my life. So that kind of weighs a little bit on this rating. Again, we kind of discussed it, really. The plot is poo. The characters and the acting is ugh. What really shines is the effects and the costuming, the environments. The music was fun, like you said. That's pretty much all I have for it. I would give it a solid 5 because of the good things. Everything else I hate. I hate fucking clowns. I can't. A 5 is actually really high for me for this.
I would say for this,
be honest.
There's two sides to me.
Okay.
Well, because if you're going with vibes, it's a high score because I love this movie.
Right.
But I'm gonna give you 2 scores.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, for me, it's an 8. I love the movie. It is a movie I love the vibes it gives. I love how lighthearted.
Yeah.
It not only it is, but it knows it is.
It's goofy.
Yeah. But objectively speaking, I actually thought you rated it higher because I would have said that this movie's a 4 objectively.
I was weighing in between 4 and 5.
If we're taking like what this movie actually is, it's a 4.
Yeah.
And the 4 goes to prosthetics and score, quite frankly. In reality, the prosthetics are like a 9.
Yeah.
Like whoever designed those clowns, great job. You did really good on that. But there's nothing there. There's nothing of substance. However, this is the proverbial, like what movie is it really easy to make a haunted house off of? A movie that's nothing but set pieces.
Yeah. And
it's just a set piece and a set piece and a set piece and a set piece. The fact that I was able to put like 6 different movies and like scenes from that movie into one room shows how many set pieces they kind of just focus on.
That's very true. And I think also it being familiar set pieces in a way where it's a carnival. What do you do when you go to a carnival? You go on rides. They have this type of stuff,
Also familiar set pieces because at the beginning where we get our introduction, we go to every place we're going to in this entire movie.
You won't forget it because you'll see it soon.
We'll be back here soon enough. We promise. But yeah, it's an 8 for me personally. It's a 4. It's a 3 or a 4 objectively.
Yeah, I gave it a 5 because the vibes, and I get what they were doing. It's super goofy. I respect goofy horror. So that kind of bumps it up to a 5. But I would say, for real, I would probably say a 4. 3.5, 4.
Yeah. But I will say, they got really far with like a $1.2 million budget.
Absolutely.
$7,000 popcorn gun. That's what we're going to use our 1.2 mil on. But yeah, that was the 2 weeks long special of movie and a haunt.
Unintentional.
Where we brought back the haunt. Will it be back next time? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. So real quick, please tell me so I know. Are we doing Cocaine Bear?
Well, first things first, I have to answer a question. At the beginning of our episode, we posed a question. I promise you there'd be an answer later on. And that answer happens right now. You can just ask them yourselves, What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. Nothing can happen. I promise. Next episode, however, we are doing a movie because we have learned with Cocaine Bear that we are not making promises anymore because we're just going to go off the vibe we're feeling the Friday before.
That's so true. Okay, real quick. It's either gonna...
Don't say it. You're going to say it. You're going to say the C word. You're going to say the C word.
It's going to be Cocaine Bear or Evil Dead Rise.
Or it's just going to be whatever the fuck we feel like the Friday night before. We're going to be like, you know what?
I'm feeling Frankenstein.
I kind of just want to watch something that's a little fun and quirky.
Like Jaws. It's summer.
It's like every time this was going to be Cocaine Bear. I promise you this was going to be Cocaine Bear.
It truly was.
But then we didn't record. We missed one episode recording, which means this had to become the next episode. So it's like the next episode has to be Cocaine Bear, right? And my answer is we've said that 3 other times, and every answer has been no. Literally the last 4 episodes, we could put them in any order, and we'll always will be correct because at some point Cocaine Bear has to happen.
Okay, so I'm gonna predict that Cocaine Bear happens either next episode if you're listening in order, or sometime during the summer of 2023, which is right now.
What's summer end again?
I don't know. August-ish?
So when we say that, do we mean it'll be released or we would just record it
Who fucking knows?
during the summer?
Anyways, thank you so much for listening to this episode or watching this episode. We are on Moving in a Haunt on Spotify. We are Moving in a Haunt on YouTube. Please give us a shout out, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Spread us around, give us a little love here and there, and we will see you next time with a mystery movie.
A movie.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.